Keith, the Supreme Court has reinforced the right to marry for same-sex couples. Yesterday, the court turned down a request to overturn its landmark ruling on same-sex marriage.
Here to break down the ruling and how this case made its way all the way to the Supreme Court is Sunrise's Trevor Shirley. Trevor, good morning to you. Give us I'd say brief history lesson, but this thing goes back a decade now.
Yeah, this is a case that's going back 10 years. You may recall Kim Davis. She was that Kentucky county clerk that shortly after the Supreme Court ruled in favor of same-sex marriage back in 2015, she made national headlines because as a county clerk, she refused to issue marriage licenses initially to gay couples and then just decided that she wasn't going to issue marriage licenses to anyone until the court appeals ran their course. Long story short, one of the couples that she denied a marriage license to sued her. Courts found to be in their favor. She argued she had a religious, beliefs right not to issue those licenses. Court disagreed with her because they said, look, you may have those personal views, but you're still acting as an agent of the state. So since then, she's been appealing this ruling against her, which cost around $360,000 between emotional damages and attorney's fees. That's what she's been on the hook for. She was hoping that she would get this case to the Supreme Court. They would side with her, and then she would be off the hook for having to pay all of that money. That didn't turn out that way. Yesterday, the court rejected that offer and that lawsuit, and court watchers had said this was a long shot from the get-go. The Supreme Court affirmed that yesterday, essentially rejecting her case.
So we've heard from Matt Staver. He's the founder and chairman of Liberty Counsel, the group that represented her. And he says, like the abortion decision in Roe v. Wade, Obergefell was egregiously wrong from the start. We'll continue to work to overturn it. It's not a matter of if, but when, in his opinion, the Supreme Court will overturn it. And we've heard from liberal and conservative justices and people about this decision not to hear the case.
Yeah, and certainly there was a lot of concern that even though court watchers figured that her case yesterday was going to be a long shot, that it could potentially serve as a vehicle to move forward in the court to overturn that 2015 Obergefell decision. We didn't see that play out yesterday, the justices rejecting her final appeal, but there is concern that there are outfits out there that are still going to be looking for cases that they can put before the Supreme Court that could potentially start that process of overruling that 2015 Obergefell decision like we saw with the Roe v. Wade decision several years ago.
Right, because you do have some conservative justices who dissented in that Obergefell case who are, still on the court. Want to show some statements that we got in support of this decision not to take up this case. We'll start with the Human Rights Campaign President Kelly Robinson. She said the Supreme Court made clear today that refusing to respect the constitutional rights of others does not come without consequences. Tammy Baldwin weighing in, calling this the right decision, but protecting Americans' basic rights is the bare minimum. Millions of our neighbors are breathing easier today knowing the Supreme Court isn't turning back the clock on a hard-won freedom for LGBTQ Americans.
Yeah, and Representative Andrea Salinas from Oregon said the court made the right decision to hear this challenge, which legalized same-sex marriage nationwide. As it should be, same-sex marriage will remain a constitutional right. And that means that people don't have the right to refuse to offer services to folks who come to them with something about their wedding.
Yeah, and polling has shown recently that same-sex marriage since 2015, when that ruling came down, really has broad support among the American electorate. That's different than, say, the abortion issue, which still continues to divide people even after the Roe v. Wade decision.
All right, Trevor, thank you very much. We appreciate the time. We should mention Jim Obergefell is going to join us at 7 o'clock with reaction to the ruling,
yes,
the Supreme Court's decision not to take up this case.